What's up, y'all? Welcome to our YouTube channel, Africans Talk Football. Appreciate your guys' continued support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
literally, literally though. All right, so welcome back to another episode of Africans Talk Football, where we bring you fresh soccer news highlighting the Africans and African Americans who've seen success within the sport. We'll also bring you some fresh soccer news with our favorite teams in the Premier League, as well as other teams in European leagues and soccer news worldwide. Whether this is your first episode with us or you've been rocking with us from the jump, again, I just want to say thank you to all of our friends and supporters. Again, my name is Cornelius, and I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. Salam, how you doing?
Doing well, man. Can't complain. Feel like I just went to Anfield and got a point. Gabriel, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. Mike, how you feeling?
I'm doing well, man. Great weekend. Can't complain.
Yeah, first weekend of
How are you,
2025.
Cornelius? You bad?
I mean, I'm good. No, I'm cool, man. I'm
Yeah.
doing well.
You too?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I'm chilling, man. It's. I feel like we've all had long weeks. The week started off, with New Year's Eve, I guess, if you want to start that midweek, and then we're rolling into January 5th. So it's been a little sluggish, but definitely good start to the year. A lot of football going on in January, but before we get to our teams, some news. First and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Michael Dedekun, who just was awarded the Mac Herman, which is the number one player in all of collegiate football NCAA. We just, we just
Well,
got
you
the
have to say
pleasure.
soccer.
Well, soccer,
Yeah.
I should say, yeah. Well, NCAA collegiate soccer. The Mac Herman is handed out to the
Mhm.
player voted best player overall throughout the college season, men's and women's. Um, I actually read a little bit about it. There's a short list preseason that's voted on by the coaches, about 30 players on the men's and women's side, and then throughout the season there are 15 kind of finalists that they get, or semi-finalists that they decide throughout the season, and then three finalists that actually get to go to the award ceremony. Um, Michael Dedekun, he went to Ohio State. We actually got the pleasure of speaking with him a couple of weeks ago. We just put that episode out. So if you do want to go, hear a little bit about his journey from Africa to Ohio to now Montreal, where he'll be playing in the MLS. Honestly, very, very dope kid, dope story. And just congrats again, man. It was a pleasure speaking with him. He has a very big heart. He has a lot of big things coming for him. He just one of those players that you could tell just puts his head down and is willing to work and ready to do whatever he has to do for the team to see success. And honestly, I said that, with that kind of attitude, he's going to have a very long career. And obviously, the accolades are just beginning, and more will come, hopefully, in his career. But I don't know if y'all had anything y'all wanted to say to young Mike.
Yeah, man. Congratulations. Big step for him. And we look forward to, your future success in the MLS. It's a good way to start his career or
Yeah.
end his collegiate career, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say congratulations to the Mike Herman. Well deserved, man. Definitely the best
Mhm.
player in the country. Had his team at number one for a good majority of the college season. So congrats to him. And like Mike said, man, we're wishing you nothing but success and prosperous 2025 and years to come. I also did want to just say congratulations to the female recipient of the award, Kate Fass from North Carolina, UNC Tar Heels. I believe they just won the national championship as well too. So she ends her career on a high as well too. So
All
Yeah,
right.
congrats, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats to both of them. Can't wait to see what you guys do through the rest of your careers. So moving from still staying on US soccer, but moving away from the collegiate level and actually going to the professional level. Want to give another shout out to Antonee Robinson, US men's national player, left back, who also plays left back here for Fulham in the Premier League. He was just voted US men's national player of the year. And I'll just give it to Salam from here because back in August, one of our first episodes on the pod this season, Salam gave a shout and he said, Anthony Robinson has the potential to be the best left back in the Prem if he isn't already, maybe best left back in the world, top three. And 4 or 5 months later, here we are with him winning U.S. Men's National Player of the Year, with the Prem saying he probably is the left back, the best left back. So, Salam, talk about your boy a little bit.
No, I mean, I think definitely he's been really consistent during his time at Fulham. I believe he came in 2020, and has been one of their more reliable guys during their tenure. Uh, well, I mean, during his time with Fulham. This season, he's played every single Premier League minute for Fulham this season, and I think he has about 7 assists, which leads his team. So yeah, man, I think he's more than capable of going to a bigger team. I believe, no disrespect to Fulham, and I think contributing at a high level. But yeah, shout out to him, and I mean, hopefully he can continue this, and hopefully that'll translate into the international play and help the U.S. But I did want to ask you guys this though, since we were talking about him. Tim Howard was on the broadcast earlier, and he was talking to his fellow co-host, and he was saying that Antonee Robinson is one of the few world class players that the U.S. men's national league team have. So, I was going to ask you guys: is there anybody from the crop of players that we have now, aside from him? I guess starting with him, do you think he's world class? And is there anybody else in that group?
Man, I think he's not there yet, but he's definitely close. I think this season he's taken a big step. This season he's taken a very big step, and I think he's in the next few years I can see him becoming, or establishing himself as one of the best in the world. But in terms of, do we have any other world class players? I mean, the three that I would say that I don't have any doubts about that you could potentially say are Christian Pulisic, Weston McKinney, and Anthony Robinson. Those are the three for me. The other ones is a toss up. Where is a toss up for me?
Musa.
Who else? Musa is a toss up for me. He doesn't even really play consistently like that for AC Milan. He's still fighting for minutes off the bench, but you could say the same with Weston McKinney, but there's class between. You can see the level of what do you call it? The level of class between those three players. Those three players are just, there's no doubt, are the most important players for the U.S. So I'll say those three guys.
I would agree with Mike. I would say those three are the three closest to being considered world class, but I would not consider any of those three world class yet. I think Pulisic and Anthony Robinson are right, almost they're close, but we need to
Mhm.
see the consistency. I think this year Pulisic is actually taking a stride, and he's scoring what
Yeah.
they're doing in
Mhm.
Champions League as well. He's kind of taking that leadership role in stride. I actually really like what he's doing this year in Milan, but we need to see it through the full season. He's been injury prone before, so we need to see him play a full season. We know
Mhm.
he hasn't done that yet. So there's a lot of question marks, but I would agree with Mike. Those three specific players are the closest to be considered world class.
Mhm.
And then, like, I would agree with Mike. I think Wea as well. He needs to be more consistent. I think Yunus Musa as well, but he needs to be more consistent. I think
Okay.
Tyler Adams, before his injury, he was balling. And so
Yeah.
I really want to see him kind of just ease back into his role. I don't think he should, try to rush anything back because remember, this is a Premier League player as well. So
Mhm.
I think he should just ease back into it. But I really do like Tyler Adams. I just hope he can stay healthy.
So let me ask
Mhm.
you. That's all valid points. Me personally, I actually would say yes. I think he is world class, and I would back that up by saying, when you look at the landscape of Europe, I mean, who do you think is the best left back in Europe? I guess we'll go from there. But I think he's definitely in that conversation of tough left
I
backs.
guess. I mean, Teo
Yeah.
Hernandez.
There's really
I
not.
would agree.
Yeah, Teo Hernandez, he's okay. Like, That's a good.
Alfonso Davies. I'll put
Alphonso
Alfonso Davies up
Davies.
there.
Okay.
But I mean, actually, like when you say that crap, he's in that class. Like he's
He's in
not.
it.
No, I
Yeah,
wouldn't say they're
yeah,
better than him. They're that much better than him.
yeah.
But yeah, there's really not anybody else that I'm looking at throughout Europe. Definitely not in the Premier League because I think he's the best in the Premier League. But when I'm looking at Liga, it's like,
I think he is. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Good point.
If you're top five, if we're gonna rank all the players in your position, and if you're top five, you're world class to me.
I can agree
That's
with
a
that.
good point. That's
I
a
can
good
agree with
point.
that. All right, yeah. So he's world class. I guess he's world class.
He is world class. Shout out to
Yeah.
Anthony.
shout out to
Bro,
Anthony.
come on.
We got one. We got one.
We got one.
Yeah. But I mean, if he is, I mean, you could put Pulisic there. That's what I'm saying. With those three, you could really say they are, but there are a lot of things that you could look at and be like, oh, this is the reason why I wouldn't. And like Cornelius said, with Pulisic, it's his injury history. Like he hasn't really had the chance to play a full season without taking like a couple of months off. So
Yeah.
world-class players, availability also counts. You have to be available. You have to do it consistently and be available for your team. And he's been there. He's been at the doorstep. I think Robinson's definitely taking a huge step. If we see him do this again next season, I don't doubt it.
Do you think he'll be at Fulham next season?
I don't think he will be. I told you at the beginning of the season. I think if he switches teams, the way we look at him will be completely different. Let's say he goes to a city.
Yeah.
Everybody will be Antonee Robinson fans.
Yeah.
Oh, best left back in the world. Best left back in the world. The fact that you're a Fulham, you're not competing in Europe. You're not competing with the best. So how can we say, hey, you're among the best? And that's the hard part for me. Not saying that you can be the best and still not be playing in Europe, but it's like I want to see you in a night in Istanbul. I want to see you in a night, at Madrid. I want to see you at a night at the San Siro. How do you perform in those moments? And I haven't seen that yet, so it's hard for me to like confidently say he is, but I think he's there. He's close.
No, that I agree. I think he's the closest. Him and Pooley are the closest. For sure.
Closest, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're right about there. It's kind of like that conversation we had with Son a few years ago, where like, is Son world class? Is he not? I think they're right there, but time will tell, man. I think if they can stay consistent through this 2025, I'd be willing to put them there. We got to see what also Milan does in Champions League. Like if they have a crazy run, so we'll see. But before we get into our teams, I know we took a little bit of time, but I just want to do some quick hitters because it is January. We do have to talk about the window that has opened. I mean, we've discussed it. All of our teams need help in some places, somewhere, some more than others. But for right now, I just want to talk about what's been on the board. It's only the 5th, so there hasn't been a lot. But I want to open it up just to ask a quick question. Do y'all think Paul Pogba gets picked up in this January window?
Ooh, I forgot he was a free agent.
He's not able to play until March. So even if he does get picked up, he wouldn't be available. I don't know if he's able to even train with teams. But I just want to see if y'all thought he'd be picked up.
Yeah, I would pick him up.
He's not getting picked up. I doubt it.
You don't think he gets picked up?
Anywhere?
Why would you say no?
I think.
I mean, I just don't think a team's going to take a risk right now. I don't think any team's going to take a risk right now picking him up. I think it'll be a next year thing. I don't think it'll be a this season thing. I think if he goes anywhere, it'll be next year. Teams will see him train, stuff like that, but not this year.
I actually see. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, don't you think the fact that you can pick him up now, get to see him practice with the guys, get him integrated to your system, your team, and by the time March comes around, he'll be good to go. I think he gets picked up. I think the reason we haven't heard anything is because he either wants to stay in Europe wants to go to a team that's probably competed in Europe. So I don't know, but
I would agree.
I'll be surprised if he doesn't get picked up. I'll be surprised if he doesn't get picked up.
I don't know. I think he's certainly talented enough. I just with him, it's just more of kind of just like physically, like where are you at? Are you able to? Because when he had a really bad knee injury, so I don't
Hmm.
really know where he is in regards to that now. But I honestly think that with him being able to play in March, I think that this may sound crazy, but I think coming to America is actually a realistic option for him because I mean, if you think about it, like I don't know, it would be an easier transition for him to come back into the game. The game's going to be much slower here. If you do have any physical limitations, I think that they'd be able to manage you here better. And I mean, let's be real. He's going to go to if he were to come here, he would come to probably one of two teams, I think, which is Miami and
LA.
LA. But you look at Miami's window and kind of who they lost. They just lost one of their midfielders. So, adding him into the mix would make sense. And if he has any aspirations to potentially get back into the French squad, I mean, here's a place where you can come play consistent minutes and
Get
kind
your
of show
legs back.
and showcase, what you can do. And then at that point, if you needed to go somewhere else, obviously teams would be a little bit more, you know, because I feel Gabriel like it's a tough, especially if you're a top team right now, it's a tough call to make to be like, let's bring this guy in, unless you just bring him in on trial, you know, just to have him, and then yeah. But I don't know. I think coming to America is a realistic option for him.
I agree. There's definitely some uncertainty still with Pogba, but it's good to just know that he's a free agent and available to play, in 2025 because his sentence was cut short. So dope stuff going on over there. Another transfer news, Ben Godfrey, who was a Premier League mainstay. He played for Norwich, most recently Everton. This year he was on Atalanta, but Ipswich on a $10 million loan just picked him up to be a defender for the remainder of their season. How do we feel about that? Good, bad?
I like it.
I
I
like it
don't
a lot too.
understand how he left the Prem to begin with, and which is not a bad thing. Like you have to, experience what's out there. And we've seen a lot of English guys leaving in recent times. So good move, but turns out that it wasn't so good because he wasn't playing consistently like he would have liked to play. So this is a good move for Ipswich. You're getting an experienced Prem player.
They need it. They
It's a
need one.
win-win. The only thing is 10 million for an Ipswich is a lot. So they might be looking to adding him permanently. So this might be a good move for them.
Yeah, I'm even no disrespect. I'm even surprised that he was able to go to Atalanta. I'm not really surprised that um, I don't know. I don't want to sound like this, but like I think it is a good move for him to come back. Um,
Yeah.
but he's coming back to a team that is well. I guess I don't know if are they out of the relegation zone now. Uh,
Ipswich?
yeah.
No, they because they drew today, they're
They drew.
still in
Okay.
the relegation zone.
So you're in a team that's fighting to kind of survive. So I mean I think that this is a good pickup for them. And I
He's
think
been here before though.
Mhm.
yeah. So I think he was with Everton, and I believe he was with
Norwich.
Norwich. You're right.
Norwich, yeah.
So
Mhm.
so yeah. I mean, he played well enough to I think with Norwich, which got him to move to Everton. Correct? Or
Everton.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
this could
Mhm.
be this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think like I said, I think Ipswich, although they have lost a lot of games, if you look at the games that they lost, it's usually by a goal. They're in a lot of these matches. Even today they had the chance to go ahead and win. Both times they were up 1-0 and then 2-1. So for them, it's just being able to finish out games. And I think having an experienced defender will eliminate things like today. I mean, that second penalty was totally avoidable. It really was. I mean, even the first penalty, pretty avoidable. So I think having somebody like Ben Godfrey there will be very, very huge for them. Um,
Question. Do you think Marcus Rashford goes anywhere?
so that was going to be my next one. There were rumors that he's looking to come to Seattle Sounders here in the U.S., play for the MLS. And although I know people were kind of laughing at it, it's not necessarily a bad move, bro. I don't think he's doing it because he's finished. I don't think he's doing it because he's finished, but I think he kind of just wants to leave Europe. I think like I honestly think this is him like I don't know what it is, but there's something mentally going on with him, and I think he kind of just wants to leave Europe. Do you think if he comes to the MLS, he's finished, quote unquote?
It's hard to give opinions on situations like this because deep down you don't know what he's going through, right? You don't know what he's going through mentally, family situation. But just from a fan's perspective of what we've watched you become, or how you even started, and where we would have thought you would be at this time, it's hard for me to be okay with Rashford coming to the MLS. Yes, I would love to watch him, week in, week out here in the US, but no, not yet. If you want to leave Europe, go to Turkey. Turkey's out of Europe enough. I mean, it's almost Asia. It's true. But I mean, come on, go to Turkey. If you don't want to deal with England and that, go to Turkey or something. Please don't do that. Don't come to the MLS. Come on.
He's very PR conscious, bro. Not saying that like any decision that he makes is going to be solely based on this, but like I don't see him leaving Europe. I could easily see him going to a Napoli. Like he's going to go to a team where it's still like okay, like they're kind of in the mix, kind of wherever they are. I don't see him just completely. The only reason why I said Pogba to the MLS earlier was just because of his injury history. You don't know where he is, but Rashford, I mean, I think could still, I think
right
he
situation.
The right situation. I don't know. Maybe maybe out of Napoli or you go to like you can't play for Atletico. You're not going to go to Real Madrid. You're not going to go to Barca, AC Milan. You and Leao are essentially. Yeah,
I have a question about Rashford. Do you guys think the pressure at Manchester United got to him?
Nah, man.
I don't know, man.
I
don't know.
You don't think it got to him?
Physically, I think his body is broken down. Like I don't think we knew him and recognized him for his pace and his, like being able to kind of get at defenders. He's shown that he doesn't really do that as much anymore. So, he's good technically, so he's able to hit the ball well. But other than that, I mean, and no disrespect to him, I just feel like his game really hasn't evolved from then. But nah, I don't think.
You don't think the pressure was part of it? I think a little bit of me thinks that the pressure got to him at United, and you guys have gone through a lot of phases, and he's always been one person that has been the constant. So he tends to get a lot of the blame. I mean, we can agree to disagree, but think about it. Through all the phases you've gone through, and when he became like one of the guys, right? Once you become one of the guys, once anything goes wrong, you're one of the guys that are going to get the blame. And I think for how long you guys have been up and down, it's so hard for me to imagine through the Pogba era, through the even Ronaldo era, going into Ole and Ragnick and even Ten Hag era, and to think that in all those moments, all those criticism during all those times, it finally hasn't gotten into. There's no way. I think it's part of it. I think it's part of it. So like a new situation somewhere in Italy, even France, should go to Germany, will be good for him.
I kind of agree with Mike in the sense that, I mean, we kind of know what we kind of know at this point. We know what was going on with the old ownership, and at the end of the day, bro, we know that these players were being babied, and because they weren't winning, they were kind of being like sheltered. We know that the ownership had them, and that's why you guys had a Rolodex of managers. But I think Rashford would have been one of the players that really would have benefited from having a manager like Sir Alex, because he would have taken him under his wing, but he would have held him accountable. And I think that's a type of player that you kind of need. You kind of need to give him the carrot and the stick. You know what I'm saying? Like you need him to be the golden child, but you also need him to understand like we live and die through you sometimes. And he never really got that. He had 4 or 5 different managers. He was kind of the golden child until he got to that age where it's like you're not really a kid anymore, but he didn't really have to shoulder the responsibility because no manager was really trying to give it to him. But at the same time, you didn't have a manager that was there long enough to be like, hey, these are your keys now. So it's like, it's weird, but he was, because I look at a lot of these Chelsea players and I'm like, look, a lot of y'all got caught in the worst era of Chelsea, because a lot of you would have been sweet under a manager like Conte or Jose or a lot of our older managers, but it's like right now we don't have the space for you guys to actually like learn anything. And so I agree with Mike to a certain extent, but at the same time we did see this guy also 2-3 seasons ago bad goals, so it's like something happened mentally. I think after COVID, when he became MBE, there was something that happened to him in the country where he became a national hero, but he was also still a footballer. And we're like, bro, we still need you to, like Cam and Mace say, keep the main thing, the main thing.
Exactly.
And I think because it's been since 2020 where we've seen the shift, and we've all kind of been like, yo, what happened? And I think there's something mentally that happened that we may not ever be able to fully understand, but I kind of agree with Mike. I think a new place might do him some good. I mean, we see what's happening to McTominay over at Napoli. So,
yeah. I mean, like I said a few weeks ago, maybe last week, he's on a long list of players that have been mismanaged since he's been. And like you said, Cornelius, I mean, just you were caught at the wrong timing of just where we were as a club. Probably our worst era ever.
Exactly.
You were the whole duration of your career was damn near that. So
yeah.
But again, Ole shouldn't have played him as much as he played him, man. Because physically, I feel like he broke him. Bro, he was playing through a back injury that essentially hobbled him the whole next season, and then ever since then, he's kind of like walking with that limp. And I'm like, man, I don't know, man.
All right. I know we could talk about transfers. I just got 2 more quick hits before we get into our team. So we officially see that Barca can no longer sign Dani Olmo. He cannot be registered for this next half of the season. So Milan's looking at him. Do we think any other teams reach out to try to get Dani Olmo?
Oh yeah. Which Milan? AC Milan?
AC Milan, yes.
Yeah, they definitely need him. United actually
need him.
United could use a guy like him.
A 10? What?
Yeah, United could use a guy like him. I would love him at Chelsea, but I know the situation. I don't want to be greedy.
He's not there to play football, man.
I don't want to be greedy, but
we already have. What Jose? 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, more.
No, but I hope Barcelona do not weasel their way out of this situation. They did it with Rafinha. They've done it with almost their most recent signings. Somehow they find a way to register them by selling something or making some new. I hope they don't weasel their way out of this.
Pieces of the old pitch.
No. We got to hold some of these big teams accountable. We can't let them get away with it. I hope he goes to AC Milan.
And then last one I want to highlight today. There were a lot I wrote down, but just a few since we're running out of time here. Omar Marmoush from Frankfurt. He's getting looked at by Man City and a couple other Prem teams. Do you think we see a jump to the Prem for Mr. Marmoush?
Marmoush at City would be crazy. But
I know that's your voice, Alon.
Yeah, I just think that they need more. City needs midfielders though too. So you can get a striker. But I don't know. Unless you put him on him and Holland up top would be crazy though, because he could play out on the wing. I think he's a really good player, man.
He would be.
They need people in January.
Yeah, he would be the what was the striker they let go to Atletico? I always forget his name.
Julian Alvarez.
He would be the Alvarez replacement that they never did, that they
Mhm.
never replaced. So I think if if teams like City come calling, yeah, you better pick up. You better pick up. So I hope it actually happens for them. Actually, no, at least not this season. Like, in the summer, not in January. Not in January. I need
No,
City to stay where they are.
I agree. I agree. But yeah, man, that's so that's all right now for transfers. Again, with this January, I think we'll see a lot of moves, especially in the Premier League, based on where a lot of these teams are on the table currently, and a lot of these pushes for the second half of the season. But let's hop into our teams, man. It's only right that we start with the game of the week, man. Game of the week. It's just fresh on our minds. Since none of us lost this week, it's good that we all can just, sit in our draws and think about what our teams didn't do to get the three. Um, but let's go ahead and start with the man of the match of the week. Liverpool versus Man United at Anfield. It was today. 2-2 was the final score. We've already taken a few minutes in the pre to talk about what we thought was the biggest moment of the match. But so I'm honestly, last week you weren't very confident, especially going into Anfield. But something that I think we kind of glossed over is that this is still a rivalry match. And I was texting Rajat throughout the game today. He said this is the first time Amarim's had 3 days in training since he started at the club or something, or since this December. So he was like, you could tell that we were defensively set up. You could tell that we worried about the counter. You could tell that the team looked a little bit more solid than the whole month prior since Amarim's been there. Um, but regardless of that, I think what we all want to talk about was the potential for Xerxes to score at the end of the match. Where I think personally, I know that you're going to say the right decision was made in scoring the ball to Harry Maguire. But personally, I mean, and I'll go on wax and say this, bro. I don't care if it's the right decision or the wrong decision. 9 times out of 8, I want my striker shooting on frame because before we broke it down, we were looking at the goal in 0.25 speed on YouTube. There's a point where he looks up at Maguire, where Allison's caught in position. And for me, if I'm a striker, and I know this is the 6th or 7th minute in injury time, after we've already played 90 minutes, after we've already equalized, and this last 5 to 10 minutes has been frantic, I'm shooting every single time. But Xerxes ended up scoring the ball. Maguire misses, and I wouldn't call it a sitter because he still had a finish even where he was played the ball. Very exciting match. I mean, honestly, if you look at all the matches in the Prem this year, this has to be top three. I would say maybe like definitely top five, more than likely top three, especially with the implications that we have coming into 2025. But overall, what were your thoughts on the match? And then you could talk about the Xerxes, decision as well.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, going into the game, I wasn't very confident just based off of where we both were in terms of our reform. But I mean, watching the game, obviously, like I'm happy with the point. I mean, that's good for the team. That's good for us in the league standing. You're welcome to those of you guys that are, I guess, fighting for the Premier League. Some of you guys are in it. Some of you guys, I don't know if you're in it or not. I don't know, but
In it, he's
you're
cold.
welcome.
In it.
Yeah, you're welcome. But no, man, I think what's crazy though is even now that I'm hours removed, it's like we had opportunities to win that game. So I think that ultimately what could have been 3 points, we walked away with one. But no, I mean, I think to go into a tough environment to play, I mean, up to this point, the best team in the Premier League and probably one of the best teams in Europe, to get a point there away from home is big for the team, and it's big for the coach. It's big for the everyone involved, for their confidence. Hopefully, going into This new year, we can kind of build off of this. Um, I thought I thought a lot of people on our team had very good games, and I think that we took advantage of Liverpool. Just not really. I felt like that they didn't really get into their groove. I mean, to be very honest with you, Salah really didn't do anything today. He got his goal. He did a celebration. But aside from that, he didn't really do much else afterwards. But shout out to him. I mean, he tied Henry's record, so um, and shout out to him. Definitely one of the best players to play in the Premier League. Happy I won't get to see. I get to not have to deal with that anymore. But no, I mean I think that like Bruno played well. Um, I think Onana had some good saves. I think Lissandro played well, scored his goal. Ahmad continues to show why we should build around him. Um, but he had a great game. Ugarte I thought had a good game. Even Maguire, I thought Maguire had a good game as well too. So like overall, I think that like we as a team we did pretty well. So to get the point was good. I would have liked to see. I know you said the biggest moment of the game was the last moment. I think Rasmus Højlund going in 1-on-1, with the keeper, and then not scoring there. I'd
Massive.
probably say I would probably say that was probably a bigger moment,
I would
considering you were
agree.
1-on-1.
I would agree.
But or Delo, serving a serving a pass. To shout out to Ahmad, but like the shortest man on the field, when you could have easily just played the ball on the ground. He's there to do that. The pass was behind him, but yeah, man, I think we had opportunities to win that game. I think Liverpool didn't get into their groove. I don't think that Trent helped him at all today. I think that he was obviously the weak point. We really exposed him. So, yeah, I mean, if you're watching this, attack Trent. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, yeah, you know what it is. So, yeah, man, and I think I actually did want to speak on that though because I think that it's very telling for Slot to take him off at a very pivotal point.
I thought it was fried.
Game. No, but it was a pivotal point. That's the game. At that point, it's not
Yeah.
about
Yeah, you're right.
fuck people's feelings. This is about we have to win this game or we have to not lose this game. So, and no, man, I think that's I'm really curious to see how 2025 kind of wraps up for Liverpool because I know that they have this lead and I know that they have a game in hand, I believe against Everton, but I don't know, man. You have a lot of question marks around of your main guys, and I just feel like we'll see. Things are
Who,
gonna.
who are these main guys you speak of, though? Because I mean, Gakpo's having a great season. Salah's banging. The only other two that maybe I could see you talking about is Diaz and Nunes.
No, I'm talking about the guys leaving. I think Trent.
Leaving. Okay.
Trifecta of. I don't think Virgil leaves, but I think just the core of Virgil. Virgil, I thought had a good game. I mean,
He was fuming.
yeah, he was. Yeah, but I feel him though.
He was
Rightfully so.
not happy.
Yeah, bro. Diaz really didn't do anything today. Like we kind of, you know what I'm saying.
that's true.
Curtis Jones was in a great run of form. Didn't really do anything today. So
Yeah.
like the only players I thought that they did well was Gravenberch. I thought McAllister played well. Virgil did well. Even Konate. Konate wasn't that great today, but I thought no. I think just the last thing that I'll say is just I think that it was for us to because when we scored the goal, remember Mike, you texted, I see two coming. For us, when they scored the goal that they scored, you could tell like the momentum clearly was shifting.
Switched. Yeah.
Mhm.
So for us to get a goal like in that environment with where we were in the game, with the momentum kind of going against us, I think we showed a lot of character. So hopefully, they can build from this. And I think again, you got to give the manager credit and shout out to the skipper, man, Bruno. Shout out to him. But to your point, Cornelius, I don't think that he should have shot the ball, Xerxes. I think he made the right play in committing the defender, and he scored the goal.
Just pass the ball on the carpet.
Yeah,
Bouncing.
if we want to question, the pass, for sure, the pass definitely was not where it needed to be, especially considering where your head was up, you were seeing what was going on. I'm expecting you to have composure and execute there. But yeah, I would have passed the ball if we were in 1-on-1 in the 2v1 like that. If the two center backs were running towards the goal, I would square it to all three of you guys, and I would expect you guys to do the same for me, because once you hit it right after the keeper, the game is over. And then we have to be like, oh, well, I'm the striker. Oh, I'm the striker. Well, yeah, thanks. We
I
lost
don't
the
know,
fight.
man. I don't know.
Yeah, let the striker speak. I want to hear what the striker was saying. That's okay. Actually,
You
Gabriel, let
should.
me ask you this. So, what Cornelius said, at the beginning of the segment, he said at the end of the game, he had like what? It was like 30 seconds or whatever. The game's been going back and forth. You're a striker. You get a ball like that laid to you. What are you doing?
I mean, I feel like there's a moment where he should have hit the ball. Like, it was pretty clear, but then maybe within like 0.5 of a second or two, the two defenders recovered, and it was like Maguire was wide open. So I see both sides where it's like you can shoot. You have to. I think two things can be true. In that position, you can shoot and you can square the ball. 100%. I think both. There wasn't a wrong option, in my opinion. I don't think there's a wrong option. But if you're gonna do something, do it right. If you're gonna shoot, put it on frame, and honestly, make sure you score. Like, just if you're gonna shoot, you have to score at that point. If you're gonna square the ball, bro, keep the ball on the carpet. Like, I'm sorry, but you're a professional, bro. You get paid millions of dollars to do this. You're telling me that you just came on, you maybe have 15 minutes, your legs are fresh. You can't give the guy a simple square pass?
I agree there.
Bro, it's like, no, that ball is bad. Like, I can't even put anything on Maguire. Like, you're a pro.
Yeah.
It should be on frame, but you're a center back, bro. Like, I don't expect a whole bunch from you in that situation, but what you're like there to deal with, it was so bad. Like, I'm looking at him like, honestly, I wish Maguire would have just left it and dummied it for Garnacho, because at that point, Garnacho had the better angle. But at the same time, it's like, bro, that ball has to be better. I think two things can be true. Me personally, I probably would have shot it because I'm trying to score it, and I feel like I was in a perfect scoring opportunity. But even if I do square it, it's like I'm not bouncing the ball. It's on the carpet. It's on the carpet. And
I agree there.
I feel like you guys could have won simply just if the ball's on the carpet.
But do you think, I don't know if you watched the game. I think you did.
I did.
But when you look at that opportunity, right? And you look at Rasmus Højlund's opportunity.
No, I looked at Rasmus' opportunity. I'm like, he also just looks like a striker who has no confidence. That shot had zero confidence. That he looked like he didn't look at all like he was going to score. Just like when Xerxes passed the ball, I was like, bro, I'm sorry, they're not. Mike said, or I think it was Cornelius. Cornelius sent the thing in our group chat of Nicholas Jackson, in pretty much a worse position, if I'm being completely honest. And he shot the ball, he scored. And I know it's different, but it's like most strikers that I know are shooting in that position. I'm not saying he made the wrong decision, but most strikers, bro, are shooting if they have any type of confidence. Yeah. It's just that simple. If they have any type of confidence, they're shooting the ball. Bro.
See, my point I was trying to make is confident striker a confident striker in that moment of the game. I don't think their first thought is squaring.
They're not looking up to see who's in the middle of the.
Yeah, bro. The fact he even looked up to check Maguire out in live, I'm like, oh, he's gonna square it because I'm at my TV like, shoot, bro. Because I saw personally. Sorry to cut y'all off. Personally, I saw Alisson come out of position. Because on the in the highlights, you can only see what they show you, but it was a little bit wider screen. I'm looking at Alisson step up and he gets caught. And for me, I'm looking at Xerxes like, bro, shoot the ball. He's caught. And I see him look up and he squares the ball. And what Gable is being very diplomatic and nice about on the square pass to Maguire, the ball was rolling, Salam. The ball was on the ground rolling. Xerxes had time to look up and make a decision, and the ball was terrible, bro.
Okay, but the ball, we can critique the ball, we can critique the pass. But our discussion this whole day leading up into this evening
But Gabriel's so
saying,
But
you were
this is
saying,
Gabriel's so
I would have shot the ball and not passed it to the center.
Correct.
Salam. This
Yes, I would.
Gabriel so eloquently. Gabriel just
hold on.
eloquently
When
said,
you said,
"There's no wrong decision, but whatever decision you make, you have to make it with 100% conviction. If you're shooting the ball, shoot the
Exactly.
ball and score. If you're passing the ball, please square it and make it something that's not a hospital pass. Those are the two
I
options.
agree. The pass was still,
because if McGuire, if the ball's on the carpet and McGuire puts it high, then it's on McGuire, bro. Then it's like, bro, he played you a perfect pass. But then also the thing is, bro, like we just said, if he was confident, he wouldn't even know McGuire is there.
Was there
Because,
exactly?
bro, as soon as the ball comes to my right, it comes to my strong foot. It's like a dream. It comes to my strong foot. I take a perfect touch forward. Bro, I don't care what's on this left side. My head is down, bro.
Gabriel gets it on the breakaway. On the right.
So this is what I want to say before you go. Like, I'm not saying that him passing is the bad decision. I don't think none of us are disagreeing on that. But the fact that you just are trying to make it seem like that was the only option, that's the part I don't agree with you. I'm like, I think that wasn't the only option. The first option really was for him to smack that. The second option was to pass it. The reason why he passed it was because he didn't make that decision right away. So by the time he even looks up, the only option he has is to pass it.
Well, no, because he saw, and this was to Cornelius' point, because you said when he
looked because he didn't make a decision.
When he looked up, but you know where he looked first before he looked over to the left. You know what prompted him to look over was the fact that he saw Allison come out. That's what Cornelius said.
Yes,
he saw Allison come out.
He kept looking at Allison.
To the left of them, who did he see? He saw two center backs running towards the goal. He just received a ball, a through ball. Received a through ball.
You're caping for him.
He just received a through ball. He just received a through ball. So whoever was marking him, he's beat, right? So he's going towards the keeper now. You have two defenders running towards the goal. That's why ultimately he looks over and goes, "Oh shit." If the keeper, if the last person in the goal who's supposed to mark the goal is coming out towards me, and if there are two players running towards the goal, then that means that there is open space where. And he looked over and he saw McGuire.
You know why I'm laughing?
Talking about the X's and O's, like we didn't watch the match.
No, you know why I'm laughing? I've played with this guy. I've easily played over 100 games with Salam. Easy. I know he's shooting in that position. I know. Salam, the coach is talking. Or Salam, the player is talking.
Mike,
you and I know if you're in that position, you're taking that shot.
Oh no, yeah, this is definitely Coach Salam. This is Gaffer. This is the Gaffer speaking.
I understand.
Bang.
Honestly feel bad for him because he's been in so many controversial and like bad situations as soon as he came to United. But I don't want to use him as a scapegoat. I'm not trying to say like they didn't.
I don't either, and I really don't hope it comes off like that because I really don't.
But I'm sorry, as a professional, you can be playing on the Cleveland Crunch. We'll be yelling at you if you do something like that. It's so serious. You can't. Anything can happen, but that. That's the last like thing that should be happening.
Gabriel, you're going to be yelling at me.
There should be something on target. There should be something on target there.
But you're going to be yelling at me if I hit it right at the keeper. Or you're going to be yelling at me if it goes on target, it still makes the save when I'm wide open.
No, I'll be yelling at you if you don't put it on frame, or if you pass the ball and it's a terrible pass. Those are the only two instances where I'm yelling at you. If you put it on frame and it gets saved or you miss.
Bro, if you have a good shot on frame, bro, and Konate saves it off the line or whatever, bro, so be it. Your teammate's gonna yell, "Oh, square me the ball," whatever. Bro, you told me if Bruno's in that situation, he's passing. Like, bro, no one. If Rashford's in that situation, he's passing. No, bro. Even if Rashford's not in form, he's shooting the ball.
He's shooting.
He's shooting that. He's smacking it far post. So it's like, bro, I get what you're saying, but if the confident striker is in that position. Any confident striker on their strong foot, they're shooting the ball.
We'll make this a ball. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm really curious because I mean it's just we've seen it so many times, bro. We've seen instances like that, and I'm just like, for me, I understand why he squared it, but the execution wasn't there, which is even worse. Which is even worse for me. But you guys ended up with a draw in hostile territory, like you said. Liverpool's the best player in the league. Liverpool's the best player in Champions League. They're running Europe rampant right now. So it's good to see them a little vulnerable. And you did help out the league with that. So thank you.
Let
Yeah.
me ask. Let me tell you what Kerry said because I asked him the same question. I said, "We're talking about this on in the group chat. What would you have done? Would you have passed him to Maguire, or would you have taken that shot?" He said, "I would have squared it. Maguire had enough time to trap the ball and pass it in. Maguire could have even dummied it to Garnacho. It's the right play to square it. The whole goal. Thank you, man. Thank you, Kerry. Shout out to
No,
you.
no, 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 no.
No
Kerry,
ball,
go
man.
back and
Thank you,
look.
Kerry.
Konaté was back in position.
Look,
If
again,
Maguire
Salah,
touches it
Both
one
players
more
taking
time,
2 touches,
it
bro.
was done.
But that's my point. This plays to my point. Awareness. You're squaring it to us. Maybe a midfielder would know. Maybe another attacker would know. But no one's taking
To a
2 touches in
center
that
back.
moment. Like, come on. And it's a center back at that same moment. Like, I understand. I still think 2 things are true, but the execution has to be there, and the execution was off on both fronts. It's off,
Yeah.
man. And it's
I'll
just
even
not
say this: with the ball he gave, if he would have given that ball to maybe a midfielder or a striker, maybe they find a way to get that closer on frame. I mean, it's a center back. You almost have to roll it to him for
No,
it to
yeah.
be,
Now we're
But
talking about the pass.
I
We were
get it. I
talking
get
about
it.
the
Let's
decision.
move on.
Talking
We
about
got to make it a pull.
yeah, we're talking about the point. If you believe there's a right and wrong decision and that he made the right decision, I'm all for you there. But what we can agree on is that the execution was poor from a professional, and that has to be like that can't happen. As Gabriel said, that just can't happen. I personally don't think there was a right or wrong decision. I just think the decision was poor in all fronts. But again,
I
walked
just
into
think a
Anfield.
decision was not made quickly enough. You make a decision, you stick to it.
You live with it.
He hesitated, and the pass was the only option.
these niggas
That's
telling me.
that's the part that I want you to understand. He was not all the moves he did closed up whatever shot he was going to take. That's why he passed it, and I agree. That's what I stand on.
I agree. I agree. All right. So to move to London, so we can talk about our draws on the other side of the country. Chelsea 1-1 against Crystal Palace. I did call GRG, so I did lose that. Salam, I got you. I just want to come on the pod and say that 20 is coming. Yeah, man, and Mike, I'll let you speak on this match, but this is kind of what I've been saying all year, man. We don't close halves well, and besides that, I don't know what it is about our team. We don't have that killer instinct yet, you know. And I remember when we started our run, when we were scoring goals, and people were just like, "Oh, this Chelsea team, they can score goals." I kind of looked and knew that it was going to come to an end, right? But what hasn't come to an end is our inability to keep goals out. That has been the Achilles heel of this Chelsea team all year. We leak goals. I can talk about how not clinical we are because that is the other issue that's coming back to haunt us. It looks like it's 2022 all over again. But for me, the 2 things that do need to happen are leaking goals that needs to stop. And a lot of these goals are, they're self-inflicted. You know what I mean? So that's the worst part. But when we're up, we need to go ahead and capitalize. A few weeks ago, I was on here saying, Maresca talked about Nani Madueke. When he gets 1 goal, he needs to be more aggressive, try to get 2. When he gets 1 assist, he needs to be more aggressive, try to get 2 assists, try to go get that goal. I need the same thing from Cole Palmer. Like this is our 4th week in a row where we didn't get maximum points. Luckily, we were able to get 1 point, but it's getting to the point now where if you look at the top 4, if you look at the top 6, these teams are right neck and neck. We don't have that cushion anymore. You know, we had a decent December
Yeah.
where we did a lot of great things and we were able to get top four. We were even second place at a point. But now we've gotten a little bit lackadaisical. We've gotten a little bit complacent. And every single team on this table, from the first place team all the way down to maybe not Southampton, because they're pretty much done in the water. But
Mm-hmm.
19 out of the 20 teams have something to fight for every single week.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked at Ipswich today. 3 points would have taken them out of the relegation zone. I mean, every single team right now has something to fight for. And so like if Chelsea doesn't understand that, and I'm talking about the players, you know, when they are on the pitch, if they don't understand that and they don't take that in stride, teams are going to beat us. And teams aren't going to look back because every team has something to fight for. A win could be the difference between fourth place and fifth place, or fourth place and seventh place. You know, a win could be the difference between 18th and 15th. So, you know, Chelsea, for me, we have to get back in the mindset of every single game is, you know, it could be our relegation battle. That's how we have to get in the mindset, because that's how everybody's thinking right now. And so, you know, it was good to see Cole Palmer get a goal. You know, it was a great goal. But at the end of the day, I'm more so worried about how we play after that. Like we haven't gotten that killer instinct yet. We've lost, you know, a little bit of what we had during that December run. And, you know, Sancho looks good, but I need him to be more, I need him to convert. I need more goals. I need more assists. I love to see Sancho out there. I don't know where Nkunku is, but it seems that, you know, Sancho seems to be preferred. I like to see Neto out there, but he has to be more productive. If you're going to take Nani's spot, because, you know, Nani is my guy, I would like to see him starting. I don't mind Neto out there, but Neto, if you're going to be on the pitch, I need you to produce. I need goals and assists. Yeah, I like that you're being, you know, energetic. I love that you're giving their defender a lot of work. But, guy, I need you to score goals, because at the end of the day, we're not scoring enough right now. And that's the issue.
Yeah, I think you made some key points. The first one is Cole Palmer. I mean, after that goal, what did Cole Palmer do? Nothing. He didn't do anything. And we will need you to not have your lapses in, you know, during the games where you just go missing and you're hanging out on the touchline. And I'm like, bro, we need you in the middle of the field. You need to stay right there. Stop drifting off to the side of the field. I need him to stay in the middle more often. And I'm not sure what's going on, but I think our cohesiveness that we had at the beginning of the season, or, you know, playing fluid and everybody just passing and giving it up and moving, it's kind of slowed down. And I don't know if we just need to reshuffle the lineup, you know, bring some guys in, send some guys out. I don't know what it is, but we've kind of slowed down on that end. I'll say this, though. The best center back in the building is Joshua Temple. Easily the best center back in the building. Colwell, how are you getting outplayed by an academy boy? It's just ridiculous, man. I've seen Disasi. I've seen what's his name, Badia Shil. I've seen Tosin. None of those three cut it for me. I will always say I like Fofana because I like defenders that has a little bit of dirty in them. I don't like defenders that play clean. I like when you play a little dirty, and Fofana gives me that. So I like Fofana on my team. If I had a better center back, would I start Fofana? Probably not. But he will play, but I probably won't be starting Fofana consistently. Joshua Champion showed me this past weekend he's our best center back. And it's embarrassing. And it's so hard for me to even admit that. But I saw it, I'm like, bro, I'm convinced. I just needed one game. And I was like, we're good. You know, like it's embarrassing that the academy kid is our best center back. One thing I would say too is this: I didn't think Caicedo didn't have a good game. Caicedo and Cole Palmer, if those two don't have good games, it's so visible on our team. It's so visible, and I don't like that.
You don't think Caicedo had a good game?
No, I don't think he had a good game. He had a lot of. He had one of those games where every ball was a little too strong or a little too slow and couldn't keep the ball. You know, he got picked off a lot. I don't know if you caught that. He got picked off a lot. in that game, the last game we played against who did we play?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. He got picked off a lot. Crystal Palace had what, Ducore and Lerma, bro. Those guys were working this past weekend,
Can't say
and
that.
to be honest, they should have won the game. Eze had a sitter, but couldn't put it away. They should have won that game. And I don't know what's going on, but we're at a spot now. I just think we need to reshuffle. Because I can't put a finger on it. I know we don't have a consistent back line. I get it. But that's not a good excuse. All these guys have been playing all season. You've been playing all season. I don't have an excuse to give you. You've been playing all season. You were part of our run when everything was going good. So I don't have an excuse to give you. So the only thing I can look at and be like, hey, are you guys getting complacent? Yeah, you guys are young, so I expect there would be things like that. Reshuffling to maybe see if it wakes up guys again. That's the only thing I can think of. But at this point, if Cole Palmer is not doing more, I don't know how far we can go. The goals are coming, he's scoring, I get it. But
What do you
it can't
mean
be
by
just that.
reshuffle? What do you mean by reshuffle?
Reshuffle, I mean, Jackson's been struggling to score. Let's give Nkuku some runner games, not just one game. Give him like 2, 3. Let's
Well,
see
so
what
that's
happens.
my question. We saw Mark Guiu come on. What do you think is the disconnect between Nkuku right now? Because do you think it's he doesn't show up in training?
Yeah, I don't need
Nkuku's
Because
best position and his
the 10.
preferred position is where Palmer plays.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Nkunku's preferred position is the 10, and that's pretty much where we play Palmer. So that's where it's like he's trying to play him as the second striker, but that's the thing. He's not that leave him up top striker. Yeah, he can do it, but that's not what he's really good at. You know. So I don't know.
trying to go
That's
back
where
to
I
the
think
4-4-2.
he's a little bit more. He's a little bit more hesitant on what to do. But I think it's time to hey, let's see if Nkunku. It's not that you're giving up on Jackson, but we need to get some spark. We need to get something going. Yeah, you can stick with Jackson. That's fine. It makes him know that hey, we still have confidence in him. But I would reshuffle. I would try to get somebody in, and I like what he did. He's been playing Pedro Neto on the right. Okay, we've tried it for 2, 3 games. All right, let's go back to Madueke because there wasn't a huge significant boost from that. So
See, Mike, I'm kind of on the opposite because I would like to keep our team consistent. Because again, I still don't know who our best 11 is, and in a game like Crystal Palace, I'm fine with switching it up a little bit. But going down, we're in 2025 now. Like for those who've been listening to the podcast, you kind of know that for the first half of the year, I'm always kind of just probing and kind of seeing, especially when I have a new manager. I give them that 1, 2 little honeymoon period. But the first half of the year is really let's see what our team is made of, and this second part of the year is okay. Let's go fight with our dogs. And for me, I'm still not fully confident that we have our dogs starting 11. Like I'm really not confident in that completely yet. But like I said, through the first half of the year, Maresca kept us top 4. We're still, top of conference league. We're still in the FA Cup. So for me, there's still a lot of positives. It's just now I am going to nitpick a little. I'm going to look at Cole Palmer. I'm going to expect a little bit more. I'm going to look at substitutions and say, okay, why are these the guys that you bring in to go win a game at Crystal Palace? This is a London derby. At the end of the match, it is. So for me, I am going to nitpick a little bit because of where we are and because of the aspirations I have. I want to stay top 4. I want to win the FA Cup. I want to win Conference League. I want to win these things. So I'm not afraid to say it. Like we're in these competitions, let's go win them. So
yeah,
for me, let's fine tune these things so when we get to March, when we get to April, we kind of know what we have when we go into these bigger matches. That's just how I
yeah,
feel.
yeah. I mean, when I say reshuffle, I'm not necessarily speaking of abandoning your maybe your preferred lineup. Reshuffling to wake guys up. Like, hey, you don't have the spot locked down. Like, guys have to do more. I just didn't think. I don't have any complaints about Caicedo. I just didn't think he had a good game this game. I didn't think Enzo was very effective this game. I didn't think Palmer was very effective this game. Our best defender was our academy kid that came on. Like, Kukurea was getting cut a lot. He was struggling on that side. So I don't know. I feel like after these guys play, and one thing we also have to remember, we're the second youngest team in Europe in Europe's top 5 league. Second. So to me, I understand how some of these performances can do this.
That's
Right?
fair.
I understand. But you gotta let them know that the standards cannot drop by, shuffling guys out. Like, hey, bro, you're not giving it to me. Bring somebody else on. And he's been comfortable enough to do it with Madueke. Comfortable enough to do it with Modric, Enzo, all these guys. It's time to do it with some of these guys like Cole and not necessarily Cole, but Jackson. Jackson hasn't banged, like, bro, shuffle it up. Bring
I think there's two
Cuckoo in,
people
bro.
you can't take out. There's two people you can't take out. That's Palmer and that's
And Caicedo.
Caicedo.
Those are my two.
Everybody else.
Else can be replaceable. So
I mean, Jackson though, can Jackson be replaceable?
so if we talk about
On this
striker,
current roster,
he's really our
roster for me,
number
he's
one
our one.
striker.
Unless you're going to put in Cuckoo
Yeah,
there.
that's
And
exactly.
Cuckoo
He's
is
our
not
number one
striker to
striker.
me, though, man.
So
Not striker, bro.
But Gabriel,
Gosh,
where
dude,
but and that so if he's not playing over Cole, so where does he play?
You don't need him, bro. Y'all got him just to get him. You're not. Cole Palmer is going to play, and he's in Cuckoo's best as a 10. So like
He's
the
gonna
only
yeah.
time that he plays is
That's fair.
in the other competitions, which I guess for you guys is a luxury because you have two 10s that are actually quality, But you don't
For
really.
me, I would love to see him in the Prem, but it like I said, because we're a little over time. I do want to talk about Arsenal, just so we can see if we can talk about City at the end. We're in a good spot. Let me but like I said, I'm to the maybe not the nitpicky part, but I'm to the part where we need to start fine tuning some things for sure. I don't know how you feel, Mike.
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, man, Arsenal to close us out with our teams here on the pod. Another team that had a 1-1 draw. Theirs with a little bit of controversy. Um, very weird red PK call on a clash of heads off of a corner. I can't remember exactly what the play was, but clash of heads in the box. It was called penalty. First game
Saliba
without
and what's his name? Their striker, the Brighton striker.
Ramirez.
João Pedro.
João Pedro. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say Jimenez. Jeez, Ramirez. Jimenez took the PK, but yeah, first game without Bukayo Saka. Odegaard kind of. I'll let Gabriel speak about it, but for me, I just think that they didn't get enough out of Odegaard that game.
Yeah.
Gabriel said it last week. They needed him to step up. They needed these other guys, auxiliary guys, to step up, and I think that. Like Gabriel likes to say, Odegaard, he looked busy, but there really wasn't much of substance. And I didn't say this about United, and I do want to say this before we do carry on about Arsenal. Hats off to Bruno, because I've been very critical on him on specifically this podcast about how, as a captain, you need to step up. And today he stepped up. And I can't say so much the same for Odegaard. And not that I'm being super critical on him, but when you wear that captain's armband, that comes with a little bit of added pressure. And I think now that Bukayo Saka is out, we're all looking at the captain to step up. And these are the matches, especially, coming down the stretch, these are the matches that are going to matter. When you have Liverpool dropping points, when you have City right here scoring 4 goals again, looking like they're back on their, on their bully. You need to get all 3 points if you have aspirations on winning the league. So, Gabriel, I just kind of want to get your overall feelings on the game and kind of where you are currently
Well, first, I'm not gonna put this game on Odegaard because he didn't even start. So,
I won't put it
um,
on him either. I'm not saying it's on him, but like I said, fresh legs you come on. I expect kind of you to take over a little bit.
I mean, I can agree with that. But anyway, I to start off, I think once again Arteta has failed us. Um, I
This is sounding familiar, man.
yeah, it's just I hate to be a broken record when it comes to this, man, but I don't know how many times we need to start Partey in the right back for us to realize that this shit will never work. I'm sorry, it will just never work. And it costs. I mean, I'm not gonna say that sole decision cost us points, but I've never seen it work, bro. I've never seen it work. I've never seen us get a result when he's played right back. I've never seen it, and for me, it's just not setting us up, bro. It's just not setting us up to do well. Um, I think it looked slow. I think our midfield looked extremely slow. I think just having Marino, Rice, and Jorginho is not the way to go. It's not a midfield that is conducive to how we want to play, or how we should be playing. I don't think it'll work at all. I think that midfield was a mistake. Like once again, I think that could have been avoided with Partey in the midfield. I think Partey just needs to be in our midfield. It's just that simple. He needs to start there. That's where he needs to be. Um, I don't think having all four of them on the pitch was good. I mean, we have 3 DMs and an 8. Doesn't really make sense to me. And I think, we have this guy in Miles Lewis Skelly. Why not start him? We play right backs. We play right backs to the left hand side all the time. Tamiyasu, Timber. We've done Ben White out there on the left hand side. Why can't we have a left footed player on the right side?
Wait, why didn't Timber play?
A yellow card accumulation. So
yeah, I was suspended. Okay.
So it's like, it's I think the lineup failed us this too, and I think the players that we had didn't perform to where they needed to be. Congrats to Nwaneri getting a goal, but after that goal, he looked terrible, and he didn't play well. And he got taken off at half, and it came out that he has an injury now. So I don't know if it's because of an injury, but he's also out for us now. So I just think after he got that goal, it was just slow, lethargic. It was inviting them to get back into the game. We never really tried to control the game. We never really tried to be threatening offensively. And I mean, this speaks to our team offensively right now. We're terrible going forward. We don't have the players to go forward. This is what this season is making me realize. I look at other teams and I look at their front threes, and I'm looking at the teams that we're supposed to be on par with, and I look at their front threes and I say, oh, they have some players that could really hurt us. I look at our front three and I don't see anyone threatening. It's just really the truth.
Appreciate the honesty. I appreciate the honesty.
If Saka is not starting, no one's threatening. And it's unfortunate. We're too good of a team and have way too much money to not have at least 2 players on the pitch who should be threatening every time we go forward. It's just that simple. And the quality of our wingers right now is bad. It's really, really bad. Martinelli is not cutting it for me. Trossard is not cutting it for me. Yes, these are guys that here and there will be able to get us a goal. Here and there might provide a big moment. But, bro, what do you look like consistently on a week-in, week-out basis? When we give you these opportunities, what do you look like on a week-in, week-out basis? It does not look good. It looks bad. It's really, really bad. So, yeah, I think we need to go be active in this market. And we talked about, transfer market, but I think we need to go get someone this January. If we want to be competitive,
what would you bring in? What position would you bring in?
I mean, bro, And see, this all comes down to just bad decision making by management. Because if we would have gotten a striker 2 years ago, if we would have gotten Isak 2 years ago, we wouldn't have had a decision. Just that simple. We wouldn't have had a decision. But now we don't. The thing is, we had Saka to fall back on, right? We didn't have a striker, but we had Saka to fall back on. If we would have gotten a striker while Saka was balling out, now we would have this striker to fall back on. But now we have no one to fall back on. No one consistently that can say, "Oh, we can go get us a goal here. He can go get us an assist. He can get us a spark here." We don't have that spark anywhere in our squad. So you know, we need a winger. We need a quality winger. I mean, a winger who's going to walk into the first team and start.
Where's Sterling?
Injured.
He's injured.
Who?
So we need a winger who's gonna walk into the squad and start a first team, a crucial first team player. We need a winger and we need a striker, man. We need a front three that is threatening on all fronts. And if we don't have three, we need two. You look at Newcastle, Anthony Gordon and Isak are running it up. They have two players going forward that they can rely on consistently. One's out, other one has to do his job. If the other one's out, vice versa. We need two, and we don't have any right now. So those are the two positions I really think we need to get better at or to improve in. But then lastly, just to talk about this PK.
PK?
Personally, when it first happened, I was like, it's a PK. When it first happened, I was like, you know what, this is a PK. But then I replayed it and watched it back a couple times, and then thought of just the scope of our league. And it's not a PK. I'm sorry, it's really not a PK because if you really look at the video, look at the footage. Yes, Joao Pedro heads the ball, but after he heads the ball, it hits Saliba's head.
Yeah, he makes contact.
It hits Saliba's head. It makes contact with his head. So, just off the strength of that, I don't think it's a foul.
But you okay?
Wait, Mike.
Yeah, go ahead.
Two. When have we ever seen a clash of heads penalty called in the box? Please tell me.
Did he not try to headbutt him?
And no, it hit. Even if he did, it hit his head. The ball hit his head.
Really, it was a 50-50 challenge.
So I'm confused as to how many corner kicks has someone got elbowed in the head. Someone's also headbutted on a header. This and the third. There have been no fouls called. So how many firsts for Arsenal now? Because we just saw what's it today? Højlund kicked the ball away, no yellow card. Everything's fine. But and the same ref, the same ref. But Declan Rice gives it a little tap. Oh, another yellow. So it's like, how many firsts are we going to see for Arsenal that are just first that no one in the league, no one else is going to get this call all year. This will happen for the rest of the year, and no one else will get this call. There'll never be another clashing of heads in the box and a PK given. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, man. I don't know what to say, man. It's extremely unfortunate because these things shouldn't be happening, and the officiating is also costing us points. It's costing us points. Now, do I think that our performance is up to par? Absolutely not. And I think we should have done a lot better, and we didn't look anywhere near as good as we should have. And Cornelius, you're 100% right. When Odegaard came on, I thought he was going to provide us a spark. It's 1-1, come in and do well, and you didn't do anything. From being completely honest, you didn't look good. Looked bad. It wasn't up to the standards. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terrible. But from what I expect from my captain, from one of the most crucial team players in our team, no, it's not up to standard. So and we can't. It's to the point where we need to stop leaving it up to the ref or our defense or 1-0 leads. We get a 1-0 lead, go get a second. We need to put the game out of reach. So there can be no question marks. There can be no controversy.
You and me both, brother.
We went up 3-0, and they maybe got that PK at the end of the game, but that's it. That's it. But I mean, this is just a testament to. It's just a combination of poor management from the manager, poor performance from our team, and poor officiating.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. It
Here's the
shouldn't have
thing.
been a pen, and it's bad. It's very very bad.
I'll say this about you guys' game. I've been saying this for probably 2 seasons now. Um, you guys are there. You guys got close, but you didn't make the necessary signing to get over the hump. You're not winning with a Jorginho. Come on, man. We've done the Jorginho thing. Let it go. Martinelli coming in and no, like I've been saying this, and this is the point that I feel like Yasser knows that this is a true point, but he just doesn't want to admit it to himself. Maybe he admits it to you, Gabriel. Because if you know this, how does he not see it? Like you keep telling me you guys are gonna challenge for this and win the league, and I'm like, bro, you're not getting over the hump with bringing a Jorginho in and the Martinelli to do. You're not winning the league like that. We've watched this league the last 5 years. City has given us the blueprint. Liverpool has given us the blueprint. And you're going to tell me and sit there and look me in the eye and tell me Martinelli's good enough to win the league. Come on, man. And that's the honest Arsenal's point. Gabriel said it, what, 2-3 years ago. They needed at least like 3 windows. They got those 3 windows right. But what happened? That windows that they put together got them to last year, finishing in second place. Those 2 windows accumulated is what pushed them to where they finished last season. This past summer was the summer you made that big one, the one that is going to shake the room.
The striker.
But they're still needed. They need the 1 or 2 signings that's going to shake the locker room. That's going to, even the guy walking in, you're like, oh my God, this guy's on our team. We're definitely winning. And you haven't played a game. Type of guys. Once the guy, you haven't played a game, that belief is already building. They just don't have that. And now that Saka is out, I was watching the area and I was like, geez, they might have just found a replacement right away. And now he's down. So what's next?
I know, I agree, man.
It's
and
an
the thing
interesting
is,
position to be in. But
and the thing is, for me, the last thing I'll say is, even this transfer window, I'm hearing links of like we want Cunha, which is like cool, but we're still buying midfielders. Like, bro, I don't understand what you don't understand about this situation. We don't need another midfielder, bro. We don't. I need someone in our attack who's going to get us 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
Without a question. Someone who's going to get
Gabriel.
us 20 goals a season.
Yeah.
Why are you so stubborn, bro? Why are you so stubborn to continue to put Partey in the right back situation? Go look at your own record. Go look at your own record when you've started Partey in this position and what's been our record. And honestly, next week I'm going to pull up the stats. I wanted to do it this week, but next week I'm going to pull up the number of wins and losses and draws that we had with Partey starting the right back position. Why are you so stubborn, bro? Why? I don't understand.
I just wanted to say, because I agree with you. I just think that the manager believes that these are the guys to do it for him. And I think that that's ultimately what it comes down
He's
to.
delusional.
What don't you understand? You're with
I agree
them every single day.
Hey, listen, I agree. I'm agreeing with you because I think Louis Skelly should play. I think it's very unfortunate that Waneri could potentially be out for who knows how long. But again, I think that they didn't go get a striker because they felt like they had 2 strikers to do the job. They felt like they didn't need any wingers because they got Sterling and they were covered. They had the 2 wingers.
See, this is the point that makes it. The 2 strikers you're speaking of, one of them is Kai Havertz. That's the striker, Mike. What time in Kai Havertz's career have you seen him lead a team to win the league playing striker?
Mike,
it's different. You won the Champions League. I get it. That's a tournament. It's one game. One game, move on. But Kai Havertz have never showed in his career he can be a striker leading a team to go win the league.
but they turned
Come
him
on,
into
bro.
a striker. He had his largest goal output. So like I'm agreeing with you guys. I'm just
No, I
saying
know.
that
But it's just crazy that
this is the
is
yeah.
even the mentality. But
But
I don't know. I
even
guess we don't
I don't
see,
know, bro.
I
the
mean,
NBA
yeah, I'm
case.
not. I'm not here to talk on Mikel Arteta's mentality because I don't know him.
Yeah,
I'm here to
you
speak
don't
on what
know
I see and assess
exactly.
that.
Mhm.
And I
No,
think
exactly.
Gabriel's spot on. He's being stubborn,
Yeah.
and now that Edu is gone, it seems like he's the one running
Yeah.
the ship.
Thank you.
We'll
Mhm.
see what he does this January, but clearly he doesn't have his mind on getting a striker. So
No, so let me ask Gabriel. To Cornelius' point, they obviously picked him over Edu, right? So they said that what Arteta is our guy. We obviously may agree or disagree with some of the decisions that he's made and how he's managed the team so far. So how long, given the fact that he's their guy, how long do you think it would take for them to be like, okay, we have to move on from this situation?
Man, I feel like I've answered this, but bro, I think he has one more year. It's just that
One more
simple.
full
If he
season.
doesn't like if he doesn't win something this season, it's already gonna be bad enough. If you don't win anything next year, even after we sign players, because if we're gonna be active in this window in the summer. Like in the summer, we have no choice but to be active. Like we're probably gonna spend 150 mil, 100 like 200. Like honestly, it's probably what's gonna happen. But if you don't win anything next year, and if we don't get a striker next year, you're gonna lose the community. That's what it is. It's not even just. It's not about the art pod. It's not
Bro,
about necessarily the team, bro. You're going to lose the Arsenal community
bro.
because once the fans start going against you, that's what happened with Wenger. When the fans start going against you,
Cut you out.
That's what I was gonna say.
then you're cooked. Then you're cooked. And if you neglect to go get another striker this summer, if you seriously, if as a grown man, no, you're gonna look me dead in the eye as a grown man, and look at me and say, no, it's really ain't an issue, and not go get a striker by the end of next summer. By the time 2025, 2026 season starts, bro, you have to go. For me, and if you don't, you have to go. I'm sorry,
Bro.
you have to, because you're gonna
What
lose. You're
Arteta's-
literally going to lose the Arsenal community.
What he's doing right now, Wenger did that, and they wanted him out. Wenger was getting the top four. Let's not forget that was a joke. Arsenal is fine with top four, and they're good.
And he was getting top four with his hands tied behind his
Consistently.
back. With his hands tied behind his back, had no money.
Exactly.
And you have money now. You have money.
Yeah, this guy has
And
the
you're
money.
neglecting to use it you're misusing funds. We call that?
Misappropriating funds.
Yeah, misappropriating funds, bro. It's a felony, bro. It's a felony.
Listen, I need
You
a
should be
center
locked
back.
up for these crimes, bro. Seriously.
Calafiori. I need
All I
a
know is, bro,
just-
you've been given the keys. Please do not crash.
that's funny.
I'm trusting you with the keys. Please do not crash. Please go sign.
Yeah.
Stop being stubborn. Stop trying to prove everyone wrong that we can, bro. This isn't Moneyball. You can't fill the role of one player with three players, bro. It's not going to work. Please go and just spend the 100 million and get a striker, and make sure it's the correct one.
I might banter you guys all the time, making fun. Oh, they're not going to win the league. And the only reason I'm confident in saying that is because I look at the guys that they're trying to win this league with, and I'm like, in the history of the Prem, the one anomaly I'll pick out is Leicester. Every team you go look at, the blueprint is there. It's been given to us over and over and over again.
And
It's
even that
already
Leicester
there.
season, they had Jamie Vardy. Like they had their
Exactly.
point man.
Vardy and Mahrez.
Exactly.
Vardy and Mahrez. And
They
then
had guys
Conte
that
in
you
the
can
middle.
actually
They had
count
Harry
on
Maguire in the
consistently.
back.
Exactly.
Schmeichel's
So-
not bad either. They had I'm not lying. In hindsight, they had a squad. We didn't know these guys.
That's the thing. That's what I was
but they
saying.
had
It's
a
the one
squad.
anomaly I would like pick out and be like, oh, you can compare, to this situation. Every other situation you look at, bro, things were in order. You had guys that if it gets tough, they can unlock you. Like Arsenal, you're telling me Martinelli is the guy I should be looking at to unlock us? Come on, bro. It's like, come on, what are we doing? Like, no. This past summer was that summer you needed to get that one big push. Because think about it, you get a proper player right now. Who knows where you are against Liverpool? You might be right there with them because City fell. City's fallen. So this would have been the perfect time, right, for you guys to slip right on in there. But because you didn't do it, Liverpool just came right back. They just refired and went back to old ways. But season's not over. You never know. You never know.
I think that's a good place to end. The season's not over. Um, we do have a lot of ball left. Halfway
Yeah.
through, we have about 18 matches left. This week we are taking a little break from the Premier League, though. Some of y'all have midweek matches, and then we also have FA Cup matches over the weekend. I'll start with Chelsea just because we only have one match. We see Morecambe at home.
There you
I believe Morecambe's in League One.
Yeah, it's coming at the right time.
Yeah, we need.
When I looked at the schedule, I was like,
GRG. I expect to see an Nkunku start. Yeah, man, let's just get back on track. This is exactly what we need. Players to get their confidence back. Let's score some goals. Honestly, I don't want to see Cole Palmer play, but I would understand it if he did.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm calling JRG with you as well.
Double JRG.
I'm shameless right here, man. We needed this game, man. We needed more Cam at home to, do whatever we want to do to him. Not in that sense, by the way. But anyway, like Renee said, Skip Palmer out. I would play Jackson. I need him to score, scoring again. Let's see what Jackson and Kuku looks like without Palmer. Maybe, but
I guess I'll go next because we only have one game. We play Arsenal away in the FA Cup. We're at the Emirates. I actually think that we've had actually a pretty tough schedule. We've had to. We went away. Hold on. We went away from home. We beat Man City 2-1. We did lose to Arsenal at the Emirates in the Premier League. And then obviously we had the 1-1 draw today at Anfield. But no, I think we're getting Arsenal at a very opportune time. Obviously, as we just got talking about, we're not really threatened by what they have going forward. So I mean, yeah, I just feel like you can't win the game if you don't score, and I have the utmost belief in my defenders as opposed to their attackers. So yeah, I think we get through to the next round of the FA Cup. If we tie, what happens? Is it a replay? Or is it?
No, is it Carabao or FA Cup?
Yeah, I think
they go to PKs. They go straight to.
I thought Carabao. I thought that was just Carabao.
Okay.
FA Cup does that too.
Oh, yeah.
I think
no, you're right.
Cup.
FA Cup. I think you do replay it. I thought
you do a replay. Yeah, you go to the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see. I could honestly see a draw and then winning it out of Trafford.
Let's see.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go 1-1.
Yeah. We have Newcastle. We have a tough week. We have Newcastle on Wednesday in the Carabao Cup semifinal at home.
That's a good game.
Another audition for Isak. Yeah, I think we'll win. We'll win 2-0. I think we'll give him the Holland treatment and try to shut him out. And then we see United at home in the FA Cup on Sunday. I think the match is. I think we'll get a 2-0 win there too. Clean sheets. So,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Bro, you really think you guys are gonna keep Newcastle from scoring?
You heard me, man.
All right. The hottest team in the league, man.
Partey at right back. Shit.
Trust me, he won't be playing right back that much. Trust me. And if he is, honestly, we don't even have locks. We don't even have Prem this week.
Yeah.
Lock it in. But if you see Partey as a right back, lock in the other team draw or win. Lock in the other team draw or win.
I was watching Jorginho shield a ball in their own box. And I'm like, what are we doing here? I'm like, y'all are really playing Jorginho? Oh my god! I was like, come on, bro.
Hey, bro,
That Arsenal
we
team.
got.
I might hate on it. I might make jokes, but Partey, Rice, and Marino, bro, just run it. Keep playing those three, man. Don't try to complicate things. Play Jorginho and Carabao, FA Cup, whatever you want to do, but if you're trying to win the league, man.
Hold on, Gabriel. Which competition do you prioritize more, Carabao or
the
FA Cup?
Prem?
Okay.
Not even Champions League.
Out of the two,
the Prem. Wait, out of
Carabao, Carabao, you're in the semifinals.
Carabao, yeah.
Carabao, you're in the semifinals. I mean, honestly, I look at this week's as, bro, we need to win both of these.
Yeah,
simple as that. We're in the semifinal for one, so this could easily be a trophy before the season ends to bolster confidence. So Carabao is full go, full send for the lineup. Same thing with United. This is a third round. This is an opportunity to get a bigger team, a team that won the cup last year, out in the third round. So if we can get them out early, there's just less of a chance for another big team to get it off us. So yeah, no, I think we need to win both. I would put Carabao, I guess, of more importance just because we're in the semifinals and it's a little bit bigger match. But I think we need to win both of these matches. Bro.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, shout outs.
Arteta's crashing out. That's what he's doing right now.
You know who else is crashing out? Ainge Postecoglou, man.
Yeah, I saw his press conference after the game.
That was gonna be mine. You took mine. That's crazy.
Yo, shout out to Brentford, by the way. Shout out to Brentford. Another, big win for them. I mean, against the worst team in the league, but
no, bro. I'm about to start calling them the Ball Bandits, Wissa and Buemo.
Yeah,
those, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I really, really, really just love their energy, bro. I mean, if you look at their celebration, the little Black Panther, man, everything about them is just swaggy, bro. I really, really do like them.
Yeah. I enjoy watching Brentford. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, shout out to Brentford. Shout out to Ahmad too.
Man, you guys, this was one of your best games in recent times.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. Man.
I was watching the game and I'm like, yo,
the boys game
United is tight today. Bro, I was expecting them to be running you guys around the pitch. I was watching you guys today. I was like,
shout out Salah, man.
I like what I'm seeing.
Y'all see his celebration. Shout out Salah.
Yeah, as for from one African to another, shout out Salah on tying Thierry Henry, all-time Prem goals. Shout out Bruno, bro. Bruno, I forgot Bruno had some of the sauce he was showing today.
The Rabona in the first half,
bro. I really, bro. It was even
fuck off.
It was even it was like 70 minutes of the match. He gets a ball played over the head. He scorpion kicks it and I'm like, yo, what is he doing today,
bro? And after they tied the game, I think you sent it in the group chat too. That little run he had in the midfield, I was like, Bruno, when you first came, this is the shit you did. This is the things we saw. The Bruno that came in that January transfer window, bro, Ballon d'Or. I'm telling you. If he plays like that, he'll be in the conversations all the time.
Yeah,
but here we are, man. He has to play with, guys named Xerxes and Rasmus.
All right.
Yeah. Shout out Michael Ajujukan too, man.
Yeah, man. Shout out.
Best player in the nation. Best collegiate player in the nation, man. Montreal, you guys got a baller.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, for sure. Lock of the weeks, I believe we went 1-3. So
1-3. Yeah, come on, boys.
We had some
yeah,
tough beats. We had some very
but hey,
tough beats.
you know,
Some narrow
we
ones.
you broke even from last week, so you know,
Might
I would have loved to see your bet slip. Uh, but I think that's a good way to end it. Good stuff, boys. Good week. We'll see you guys next week, and until then, good luck to you in your future endeavors.